Alright, home invasion. You can only start this mission between the hours of 12 and 20. So if your clock is not right, just go save a couple times, come back and start the mission. As soon as you start it, your in-game clock is set to 22, and that's going to help line everything up for both House Party and Lost Supper Cross later on, which are also timed missions, or missions that you can only start at a certain time. The drive here, not too terrible. Just around the corner. You're going to use the shotgun indoors. You're going to do the sliding glitch. And you're going to do some crate sliding. Crate sliding is a little tricky because you have to start the slide before CJ fully crouches. So you got to be real quick with your inputs. There's the crate sliding right there. Be sure not to bump into anything. That little trick right there, the animation skip, is press F at the back of the truck, then press F right before letting go of right click to stop your slide, and then you just skip the animation completely. Hit F, F again, and there you go. If you're not lucky, you can inadvertently cause a lot of noise with like rubbing against the door and stuff, and you can get a cutscene sometimes. It's kind of annoying. So as soon as you put 3 crates into the truck, just get right on in. Ryder will mosey on over and head to the lockup. Do not get a wanted star. Don't hit any cops. Don't hit any pedestrians. Don't do anything illegal. Because you can't pass the mission if you have a wanted level. You'll get a little dialogue. Ryder will tell you to go in pain spray. It's a real pain. Not much to say here. Just like I said, avoid cops.
One day you gonna wish you hadn't pissed me off. Did I hear something? Sound like the Buster.
The next mission is going to be House Party. That's going to be a very quick mission. You're going to get a little cutscene here. Ryder and CJ exchanging words, and then the game's going to give you a tutorial on burglaries. Completely optional. I don't think you even need burglaries for 100%. It's just like a cute little mini game. This is a bit of a good break, though, to stand up and stretch if you need to. Stretch out your arms, stretch your wrists. Important to keep limber when speedrunning.
Okay, look, I'm tired. I'll see you later.
Alright, Holmes. Just think about what I said.
Quickly grab a car here. Was lucky enough to get a blade. I should have mentioned this before, but the way you steal vehicles is if there's no one in the passenger seat, if it's just the driver, get in through the passenger seat. And if there is a passenger, then just shoot the driver out by shooting his head off. Whenever CJ has to drag someone out of a vehicle, it's always a very long animation. But just cruise up to Grove Street and start House Party. I like to toss 2 nades here. You can sometimes get away with 1 if it's placed very well. Be sure not to throw it too close. Make sure it's far enough, otherwise you blow up some of the cars that you're next to, and that can kill Sweet. Gun down those guys on the bridge, lob a grenade over this wall here, and then right here. Be sure to check your minimap. Keep an eye on your minimap to see who's alive and who's not. Throw those nades, then you got 1 guy left here. That was a pretty quick house party. That was pretty good. It's all about the grenade throws there. If you miss, then obviously you're going to have to clean them up with the Uzi. So just find what works for you. The way I did it is probably the most consistent, I find. I used to do those first 2 grenades in reverse order, and it always, like, ended up leaving 1 or 2 people alive. It was a real pain. Next mission, Catalyst at Ryder's house. This is another pretty simple, straightforward mission. CJ and Ryder are off to rob a train. And the first thing you're going to do after you get out is throw a grenade at the group of 3, and then just headshot the guy on the train. And then run back a little bit towards the intersection on your right, because a ballless car is going to spawn there. Wait a little bit before shooting the gas tank, because if you shoot it too quickly, if you're too fast, then the mission soft locks and you can't do anything from there. Like, you're never able to get on the train. Alright, now Ryder has to catch 10 crates. I like to just hold down my mouse button, max out the power, and toss one. And then while he's throwing that one into his truck, I just do the same process, max out my power, so that every time he stands up, I'm ready to throw a crate at him. Pretty simple. And you get 3 wanted stars for the drive to the pain spray. It's usually not too bad. Sometimes a barricade happens on this road or around the corner on this road, and it can be a bit of an inconvenience, but you should be able to squeeze your way through. And quickly douse Ryder with some paint fumes there, and head back to Grove Street. Now, the next couple missions, I like to do robbing Uncle Sam after Catalyst, because the marker is right there. But if you really want to, you could do Lost Sepulchre next. The reason I guess you would do it next is because that mission has a time window that you can start it in between the hours of 9 and 17. So if you feel like you're not going to be able to do robbing Uncle Sam and then make it back to Grove Street in time to start Lost Sepulchre, then you could just run across to Sweet's house and do that mission next. So robbing Uncle Sam, this is the mission where you drive the forklift. It's kind of tedious because picking up 2 crates at a time is the speed strat here, and it can be a little more tedious than it sounds. The drive there is pretty simple, actually. I remember as a kid, I would always get lost trying to figure out the fastest way to get to this bridge, but you could just cut across here, and you can make your way to this bridge very easily, so be sure to do that. And then it's just smooth sailing from there. One thing I should mention, on this mission and the next, Lost Sepulchre, there's a little combat involved. I would do my best to take as little damage as possible, because the more health I have, the more likely I am going to survive reuniting the families. So just slice the keypad through the wall there, and just run over, gun down this guy and the keypad, shoot these 2 guys, forklift as quickly as possible, and get the first 2 crates here. You gotta have the forks completely underneath the crates. They can't be sticking out in any way, or you'll drop the crate. So this set of, these 2 first sets are pretty easy, because they're right next to each other. There's nothing too fancy going on, so you just slide your tongs underneath there. Raise them up enough to be able to put them in the back of the truck, and then promptly do so. This last set is what always gets me. These 2 right here that are around this corner. They're a little disjointed, as you can see, so it's kind of more difficult. Yeah, I even goofed it there. It's such a pain, because you gotta just drop this one off, and then you gotta go back, and ugh. But it's not that bad. It is a time loss, though, if you don't get these 2. Reversing in this thing is really good, by the way. As you can see, the reverse speed on the forklift is really good. It is possible to break a crate while using it with the forklift. I've never had it happen, but if you do, there's more boxes around the left side of the warehouse. So, if you break one, you got your backup boxes. The Patriots that will be pursuing us can be kind of a pain. I just like to honk and sound the horn and try and get them. And also, I try to take this turn as quickly as possible. As you can see, they kind of trolled me there, spun me out a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. That's why I try to get around the corner as quickly as I can so that they can't screw with me. Because the AI is pretty bad at pursuing. So there we go, mission passed. Quickly grab a vehicle. Sadler works. It's probably my favorite truck between the Sadler and the Bobcat. I just cannot stand the Bobcat. I refuse to get in one if I can help it. Lost Separcross is next. As you can see, I had like 2 minutes and a couple seconds to spare. So if you're really worried about your robbing Uncle Sam, or if you've already taken a fair bit of time on Home Invasion or House Party, it might be better to do Lost Separcross before robbing Uncle Sam. And the time difference between doing robbing Uncle Sam first versus doing Lost Separcross first is meager, so don't beat yourself up if that's what you decide to do. Take the highway here. This is a bit of a drive across most of Los Santos. Watch out for the traffic. Traffic on highways is always terrible because they're way too fast and they don't use turn signals. No car in this game uses turn signals. What am I even saying? But yeah, crossing over onto this ramp here. This is kind of the treacherous part of the drive because you've got oncoming traffic on the highway. I try to despawn as much as I can, but of course I run into something anyway. Get a little bit of a spin out there. And then just a straight shot from the highway to the graveyard. And it's going to be right around this corner. This short little cutscene here, then you get out, hop over the wall. I like to equip my grenades as I'm approaching Sweet, because the first thing you do after the cutscene is run up and throw a grenade and try to get as many ballas as you can before getting into the car and running over Kane, which can be tricky. Both of those things can be pretty tricky, to be honest. I used to be really bad at this grenade, but I finally found a decent spot for it. I stand next to this thing and throw my nade over the wall. That wasn't even that good. I should have moved up forward a little more. I think that's what I've started doing since I've recorded this video. But whoever's left alive after you run over Kane, just be sure to gun them down as quickly as you can and get over to the Admiral that Sweet will be waiting next to. I took a lot of damage here. This is a bad Lost Separcross. I even took some health damage, which is not good. So yeah, that's what happens if you don't have the best grenade throw there. You have a lot of cleanup after running over Kane. Usually, if your grenade is good, you only have 2 guys to kill as opposed to, what, I guess that was 4? Anyway, I take a different route back to Grove Street. I go under the Mulholland intersection here, and I cut across the parking lot onto this road here. And then from there, I take the highway, and I cut across to around where Big Smoke's house is. Oof, another collision. Sick 2 wheels, though. Baby. And here we go, just cut across. I like to take this ramp back up, and then from there, it's a straight shot to Grove Street. Nothing too fancy. And then reuniting the families is a pretty notorious mission.
Man, we was a force back there.
A lot of new runners like to grab the spray paint can after robbing Uncle Sam. There's a spray paint can on a roof near CJ's house. and they use that to slide with during this mission. I don't do that. I just use shotgun, which is much, much riskier, but it saves me the seconds that I waste getting the spray paint can. But if you have trouble doing shotgun strats on this mission, as I call them, please, please feel free to pick up that spray paint can. It is a very nice safety. It's convenient, and it means you won't lose your runs to just bad RNG with getting shot during reuniting the families. So I go ahead, I go in with the shotgun. Even though I've taken a little bit of damage, I just go for it anyway. Don't stop. That's the big thing here. Do not stop. If you stop, you're dead. I got shot quite a bit there, so I picked up the armor. I like to rub against this guy. And just keep going. Just do not stop. Keep going. I like to rub against these guys, because usually they don't end up doing as much damage. And then quickly headshot those 2 SWAT members firing at Sweet. Pull out your grenades and then talk to Sweet. Do not skip this cutscene. Just wait and then lob a grenade. That was kind of a bad one, so I think I throw another. Well, actually, that grenade worked. Interesting. I usually like to throw 2 grenades anyway, just in case I mess up the first one. That should take out the helicopter. If you mess up your grenade throw, just take out your shotgun and do the shoot crouch method. You know, shoot, then tap crouch twice, then keep shooting at the helicopter. That's the fastest way to take it down from there. And then you have this auto scroller where you've got the AK out. Just gun down cops as they show up, and then be sure to keep firing at your own vehicle. This does not damage your car, but it does raise your AK skill with every bullet that impacts the vehicle. And you can actually max out your AK skill within the course of this mission. And that comes in handy later on in the run. So be sure to do that, don't forget. It's pretty important. Especially if you're doing duping strats. But it is a good quality of life thing to have in this run. Nothing you can really do to speed this up. Just keep the car alive, keep shooting police, and keep shooting your own vehicle. Work that skill up. Gonna be a cutscene at the top of this hill. And then there's gonna be a guy that jumps onto the car and starts punching you. Be sure to take him out quickly, because he actually does damage to you. If you shoot him fast enough, he won't actually get any shots on you. So there you go, right through the, I think this is, yep, the car wash. And then there's the Hitman level reached, as you can see in the top left. The second guy on the bike that jumps onto the car is coming up. As soon as he's dead, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to shoot any more guys. They'll still be in pursuit of you, but you're safe. For the most part, you won't really lose that much health on your vehicle. Because right around this corner is the end of the auto-scroller. The K is going to get jammed. And you won't take any more damage. So yeah, as soon as you shoot that second guy, you can, you know, get up, stretch, go to the bathroom, grab a drink, grab some food, anything you'd like to do. It's a nice little break in the action. This is all cutscene. And then they drive into the billboard here. When I was a kid, I had no idea what A Taste of Cum meant, nor did I think that they bailed out. I thought like CJ and everyone was dead when I saw this cutscene. And then I was like, oh, thank God. So this brief little cutscene. And then the last mission of Los Santos. The longest segment of the San Andreas speedrun will come to an end. Just run over here to this bridge, find a car, If you don't have a cop bike in your garage yet, this is the absolute last place you can get it before the mission starts. So go ahead, cruise back onto Grove Street. And the green Saber begins. I like to spam jump when I start this mission. It doesn't really save you any time, just CJ does a little jump and he gets down the hill a little bit faster. Take your cop bike. If you don't have a cop bike, just take your NRG. Either one. But if you do have a cop bike, take that instead. Because you will use the NRG on beatdown on beat up? Yeah, that's the mission. So go ahead and meet Caesar under the freeway pass here. That was kind of a sloppy turn. What I've started doing instead of driving into the marker is I drive just short of the marker, then I get out and I enter the marker on foot. The reason I do that is because there's a bit of a delay before you can get off your bike if you drive into the marker.
I got a Warren Sweet.
And then a very quick but precarious drive up to Sweet. It's very easy to get hit by a car here at that intersection.
Hey, what's up? You called me, but I ain't pick it up. So leave a message after the...
But just cruise on into this marker full speed. Then pull out your Uzi, start gunning people down. The reason it's important to have a bike here is so the AI is more inaccurate. As I've described earlier, if the last vehicle you've used is a bike, AI cannot shoot you worth a damn. When that van pulls up, I just throw 2 grenades and I gun down anyone that survives those explosions. Same thing here. I'll wait for this van to pull up. Couple grenades. Shoot anybody that lives. And then I like to throw a grenade there because this vehicle takes like 2 different patterns. Sometimes it goes around the bend there and sometimes it doesn't. So if it keeps straight, it usually hits that grenade and blows up. Otherwise, I try and shoot the driver as fast as I can and then gun down everybody else inside. Or just try to go for the gas tank, depending on if I can shoot it or not. And then there you go. That's the last thing to do in LS. And you'll be in the Badlands. A 1:16:43, a pretty good time. I was proud of that. I was glad to finally get a time under 1 hour 17. So that's that. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with Badlands coming soon.